Singapore went from a tiny island with zero resources to one of the richest countries on Earth in just 50 years. The average person there is wealthier than the average American. But in 1965, everyone thought Singapore was dead. We just got kicked out of Malaysia. We have no natural resources. We're smaller than New York City. Our unemployment rate is through the roof. We're surrounded by neighbors who hate us, and we have no army. Gentlemen, please, one crisis at a time. Which crisis should we solve first? All of them. Simultaneously. That's impossible. So, how did they pull this off? Well, before we get to the insane comeback story, let's rewind and see how they got into this mess in the first place. For centuries, Singapore was just a sleepy fishing village, nothing special. But in 1819, a British guy named Stamford Raffles showed up and said, "You know what this swampy island needs? A trading port." "But sir, this place is full of mosquitoes and pirates." "Exactly, it's perfect. Plus, look at this location, right between India and China. Do you know how much money we can make?" "How much?" "So much money." And Raffles was right. Singapore's location was absolutely chef's kiss. It sat right at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, perfectly positioned to control trade between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. Ships traveling between Europe, India, and China had to pass through here. It was like owning a toll booth on the world's busiest highway. Under British rule, Singapore grew rapidly. Chinese, Indian, and Malay immigrants flooded in, looking for work. The population exploded from a few hundred to hundreds of thousands. Singapore became one of Britain's crown jewels in Asia, a diverse, bustling port city, making everyone rich. Well, mostly making the British rich, but you get the idea. Everything was going great until... "Sir, the Japanese are invading." "Don't worry, young man. Singapore is an impenetrable fortress. We have the big guns. I'm talking massive, a 15-inch naval guns, pointed at the sea, and they are loaded with glorious armor-piercing shells. Do you know what one of those beauties can do to a battleship? It'll punch right through the hull like it's wet paper. We're just daring them to send their navy. Sir, they're coming from the north, through the jungle." "From the jungle? That's impossible. Everyone knows you can't move an army through the jungle. They're here, sir." "Oh, well, this is embarrassing." In February 1942, the Japanese captured Singapore in what Winston Churchill called the worst disaster in British military history. They were so confident the attack would come from one direction that they left their entire backside completely exposed. And that single blind spot cost them everything. Which brings me to something you're probably doing right now. See, right now someone could be watching everything you do online, and just like the British, you probably don't even see them coming.